Good day, and welcome to the presentation of Litestar 4D version 601, the management of lighting product at 360 degrees. Version 601 includes new features and enhancements regarding the modules Photo View, the Photometric Data Manager, LightCalc, the Lighting Design module, and some new features that we introduced at the WebOxy, the website of our company. Let's start with the new features and enhancements introduced with Photo View. So the main features regards the spectrum section enhancement, where we introduced the ISTM30-2015 and the same for 2018, which is the IS method for evaluating light source color rendition. What did we include? We include the calculation of the parameters such as the RF, the fidelity index, and RG, the gamut index. We also introduced the graphs such as the color evaluation sample regarding the fidelity according to a set of 99 samples, CES, you can see here. The color distortion graphic, you can see here. The color vector graphic, you can see here an example. The RF according to the RG, which is this one at the bottom. And the shift, the chroma change in each of the beams, which is this one, and the hue change in each of the beams, which is always this one. With a radio button, you can switch from one to the other. At the photo view, we also introduced the ratio, the SP ratio, which is the ratio between the scotopic and the photopic spectrums. We also included a modification and an enhancement at the calculation of the CCT in order to adapt the CCT value exactly to the ones coming from the illuminant spectrums. There were little differences before with the previous version. Let's come now to the LightCalc, the lighting design module. We introduced some enhancements and quite big changes at the road automatic calculation, also called RAT+. One of the main change regards the window which manages the calculation, where we introduced possible operating modes called step-by-step, which is this one, and the all-in-one click, which is this one. In the first, we can open the file, open the Excel file, which is the base for the calculation. It is the file where you can input all the different parameters regarding the road or the roads you want to put under calculation. Then you expand the macro. Why? Because through the Excel file, it is possible to set some ranges, for example, for the height of the luminaires, the height of the installation height of the luminaires. So, for example, you can say that you want to run a calculation starting from a height of 8 going up to 10 with a step of 1. So you input a single line and you fix the range, and when you click on expand, the program will automatically check all the different ranges and will automatically create new lines in function, and the total number will be in function of the ranges set by the user. At the end, you can run the calculation pressing on Do Calc. If you do not want to do it step by step through the 3 steps we see here, it is possible to do all in one click, pressing the button here. At the same window, the Road Plus window, we also added a button called Download XLSX, which brings you directly to our website, where it is possible to download the Excel file you can use to input the information, and that the program uses then also to input all the results of the different calculations. As you can see here, there is also another option, which is the same Excel file in the previous version. Let's say that the 2 versions are not compatible. So in this case, you have to select one file if you want to use the new one, or the other one if you want to use the Excel file with the old version, which is the 6.00. Let's analyze in detail the Excel file. So we added a line, which is this one, the line 8, which is a line that can help us to automatically format the different fields, the different cells of our Excel file. Why? Because coming from the experience of the previous version, we found that sometimes the people, the users, entered some parameters that they were not compatible with the program. So, for example, for the road width, for example, if you input a number, but the configuration of the cell is not a number, it is a text, then the program won't work. So it will stop and won't continue the calculation. So if you highlight the line and then you press on this button available through the Excel program, and then you apply the configuration at all the lines, all the cells will be automatically configured properly so that the calculation won't stop anymore. A great enhancement was also to include all the different classes for the carriageway. Before, at the version 6.00, it was possible only to manage the M classes, but now it is possible to manage the C class, the P face, which is the P with the smiley face when facial recognition is required, the HS and EV, all together over here. In the same way, also, it was extended the set of classes for the sidewalks and the parking lanes. So we included the C, the P face, the HS, the SC, and the EV classes. It was modify also the structure of the range fields. What does it mean? It means that before we used to use some characters that with some languages they were not working properly. So we replaced them using, for example, the square parentheses and not considering, for example, the minus sign, but we replace it with a column, with the 2 points. Also, another big change was introduced in the management of the photometric file name of the products. So it is now possible to define more than one subfolder. where the program takes the photometries. So before it was possible only to have a single folder. Now you have, which was the main folder. Now you may have the main folder and some subfolders starting from the main folder. So in this case, you can organize your data as you like, and at that time, you can then select what you want to use for your calculation. At the folders, you can input as many photometries as you like. The program will consider, if you do not define a specific name, a specific file, the program will automatically calculate all the photometries included at the defined folder. It is also possible to use the asterisk now, which means that if you have at a single folder different types of photometries, it is now possible to define asterisks, for example, .ldt, which means that the program will use only the LDT files included at the defined folder. Something similar was also defined for the project names and the project subfolders. Before, it was only possible to use a single folder, a single main folder. Now, starting from the main folder, you can define some subfolders where you can save your projects. So, for example, if you want, you can save the project to a folder corresponding to the same name, the same street. For example, if you want to perform different cases and study different cases, then you can save them at that folder corresponding to the name to a single road. But it is also possible to define for a project a single name. Or if you define only the folder without defining the name, then the program will take the first, third, and fourth descriptions at the first, third, and fourth column, merging them together and create then the name. Another interesting enhancement was the introduction of the log column. At this column, it is possible to define, the program defines if there is any error condition. So, with the previous version, it was not possible to see if a cell was not input in the proper way. In this case, the program was stopping without saying anything. Now, in here, the program writes what's not working, so that you can straight away change and correct the error and start again. Regarding the carriageway, which was before, this is the section regarding the results. Before, it was only possible to visualize the illuminances and the luminances values, but now it is also possible to have the columns for the illuminances like the minimum semicylindrical, the minimum vertical, the minimum hemispherical, which is something requested by the standard. The standard is the 13201 on 2015. Also the class comparison, which was only before possible for the M classes, was now extended to all the classes selected by the user. So for example, if you want to run a calculation of a carriageway using the P class, then the comparison will be done through the P class values. It was also included some little changes to the renderings in order to enhance and to improve the results, as you can see here. We also want to thank all the different firms who helped us to improve the program and to come to the level we are now. Please contact us for any further information about the program and about the new features.